Research clearly shows that students do better academically and schools improve when parents and families are involved in their students' education. Out of this knowledge and the conviction that educators and families need to work together to increase student achievement, Parents and Teachers Talking Together was born. It is a starting point for a better relationship between parents and teachers. In 1994, the Pritchard Committee for Academic Excellence developed Parents and Teachers Talking Together as part of a larger effort to reach Kentucky parents. Parents and Teachers Talking Together is a structured dialogue that brings together the adults who deal most directly with children. The purpose of this discussion is for parents and teachers to exchange ideas about their expectations for the children and what they are willing to do to meet them. To date, the Parents and Teachers program has reached more than 9,000 people across Kentucky, allowing these two groups to realize they have the same goal: better education through higher student achievement.
The purpose is to bring the two sets of adults who deal most directly with children together for a meaningful conversation. We hope that the end result of the conversation is that parents and teachers will continue to talk. We really see it as a beginning, as the start of an ongoing relationship and an ongoing conversation while the children are in that school. And we hope that it will lead to parents being more involved in really meaningful ways in the classroom or in the school to really see that their children are learning what they need to be learning and that other children are getting what they need.
Parents and teachers need to communicate in an open environment where everybody's on the same level and you can feel free to voice your opinion and you can all come together for a common goal, which is for the good of the children.
Parents and Teachers Talking Together brings parents and teachers together in one room and allows sometimes very diverse groups of people the opportunity to find common ground and solutions to mutual problems. A parents and teachers discussion is driven by two basic questions. One, what do we want for our children? And two, what do we have to do to get what we want for our children? Parents and teachers first meet separately to discuss these questions, brainstorming for answers and ideas. Then, the two groups meet together and combine their responses in a colorful and meaningful way using a process called straw polling. Parents and teachers prioritize their responses by voting with bright colored dots, different color for each group. After the voting is complete, the differences and similarities between the two groups are visually demonstrated. The outcome is the creation of a list of goals showing areas of consensus. Finally, the group develops an action plan that addresses the goals and areas of concern they have identified. Often, as a result of the process, small groups of parents and teachers work together on specialized projects or specific issues.
Well, as a teacher, I really was not sure about the direction in which they were going to be taken. But since we were going to be, we in the business of working with children, I knew it would be child-centered. And we were going to be trying to come up with ideas and ways in which we can best serve our children and meet their needs.
I was able to see that there are other parents in my situation wanting to help their child, and in this instance it's my grandchild, but wanting to help their child or children excel to their own capabilities. And that was the best feeling. When I left that night, I couldn't go to sleep that night. I was just overwhelmed and exuberant with everything that went on that evening. And so many ideas were running through my head, how we could help together as parents and teachers and the principal and all. So it was a great evening.
Well, most of the time when parents are talking to teachers, it's something negative, that a student has done something wrong or there's some kind of conflict. That's usually when parents and teachers communicate. This is a much better way to bring parents and teachers together to share information in a relaxed format where they get to know each other one-on-one and they get to share ideas. Quite often, after the PT3 is over, there are people standing around in the parking lot still having conversation, and that's when you know you've had a really successful facilitated conversation, when that communication goes on even more.
One thing that's very important is the facilitator making that particular parent comfortable and making them feel that their opinion is very much wanted and needed. And then as the evening goes on, you see that parent, you know, the light bulbs go off, however you want to term it, but they get involved and they come up with good suggestions, and when you know, we discuss the ideas that have come up, they play their part and they offer a lot, because it's more times than not it's the people who are silent who have a lot to offer.
While the program most directly involves parents and teachers, school administrators and staff also benefit from the Parents and Teachers program.
When all of the teachers and the parents approached this meeting, they were very hesitant because they didn't realize exactly what they were going to talk about, what would be brought up in the meetings. They did know somewhat what the agenda was, but however, after collaborating together as teachers and parents as a whole, they realized that not only did they have goals that were similar as educators, they also had goals that were similar to the parents.
In order for our school or any school to be effective, education has to be a partnership between not only the central office personnel but also parents and teachers and administrators. And in order for this partnership to work, then there has to be an open line of communication between all of the parties, and sometimes I think that's a little more difficult for parents to feel comfortable to communicate with teachers, so I think this opened up the lines of communication.
I think if I had had this sort of opportunity to communicate with my children's teachers and principal, I would have been able to communicate on a much more effective level. I just think that it's a good, safe atmosphere for parents and teachers to discuss what's really important for the students.
The most important result of the parents and teachers talking together is the one-to-one connection that parents and teachers make as they come to realize that they share common goals and dreams, wanting and doing what is best for the kids. You can get a Parents and Teachers Talking Together session started in your community by contacting the Pritchard Committee for Academic Excellence. It's a powerful start for building partnerships between families and schools.
Sponsoring a Parent-Teacher Talking Together program at your school does several different things. In a school that's that is just starting a good parent involvement program, this is a very easy way to bring parents and teachers together in a non-threatening format to start to have conversation. If you have strong parent involvement in your school already, you can use the PT3 as a way to move to a higher level of engagement and participation.